Welcome to the channel. Building overseas doesn't have to be a nightmare. My goal is to help you make that dream a reality. Expect weekly tips on the process of building that dream home and the lifestyle it brings. So check out my videos, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me. I see some eyeballs. Today is kind of like dedicated to you guys, for questions that you have. So you can just throw in there and I'm going to take a crack at it. And so, preferably, topics on building, moving to Ghana, thriving in Ghana, what you need to have, what you need to do, how you're going to thrive. So you can just throw it out there. So, and then we can take it and see how many questions we can crack it in the next 30 minutes or so. So let me know if you can hear me. It's always good to get a feedback at your end. And I hope you guys are doing very, very well. Check in so I know who's here. Um, anyway, so I hope the Saturday is doing well for most of you. It snowed here. I was outside plowing the snow a little bit, getting some exercise in. But then I know we meet Saturdays here, and so I want to stop by and just say hello. And so, if someone can give me a feedback, I'll just continue. Anyway, you know, maybe some of you are interested in maybe taking a trip to Ghana, build, explore business opportunities um, of investment. As well, it's always good to get some idea, you know, how things gonna play out, and also obviously nothing substitute, visiting. It's important to always take that trip, and so that is always good. And then the building is a very very meticulous and detailed and can be expensive and a little bit of stress sometimes, and so it's all about having the skills to maneuver and then overcome that challenges. And so that is very, very important. It can feel like a never-ending project, per se. So it's just one of those things. Okay, and so I'll do some recap. Obviously, you visit, you explore. I always say, kill two birds with one stone. So even if it's like you visiting for reconnection or maybe just you have been away for far too long, maybe the best option also is to make sure that. Thanks for the feedback, Brian. Thank you. It's also good to also explore what is it that you're willing to do while you're on the ground, and then so that you know opportunities are in Ghana. It's a different type of opportunities, but also it's just a different way to do business as well. So you have to understand what I call the local dynamics, in order for you to be thriving just in anything, not just in building, but also having a successful mood and being able to, thrive and, open a business if that's something you want to do. Okay. So it would be today is just like, questions and answers, you throw in and then we'll take it on that. So I'll keep speaking to the questions come in and then we'll take it. All right. So one of the things too, you know, is so I've talked to some couple of people that say, okay, Tony, I want to, I want to buy land and then use it as a form of, I want to diversify my investment portfolio. So I want to secure acres of land or whatever the numbers may be, and as a way of, as some asset and stuff like that. And then I said, well, generally, it's not a bad idea, but I always say that, okay, first of all, where you buy the land is very, very important. Um, um, is very, very important. And so my rule, this is my rule in land acquisition. You have to buy it legitimate, litigation free. You have to be able to register it. You have to be able to fence it and have somebody occupy it. So if you can do these four things, that means um, it's fully secured, right? And so and so that is the thing that and that is the thing that I would say, if you can do that, because other than that, buying it and you register it and the land is in the middle of nowhere, you don't have ice on the ground, you don't have somebody occupying it, can create headache for you. All right, Idris, thank you. We have a question. EPS panels are the current buzzword. What are your thoughts? So I think I mentioned this maybe 3 weeks ago. Um, so EPS, I believe you're talking about the polystyrene that is being used for um, for construction. As far as I know, um, I have not seen anything yet based on the research I'm doing in which polystyrene was used as decking. Because think about it, polystyrene is another form of styrofoam. They fit in that family category. Mostly is used for installation. Installation in terms of, think about it, the way we build in the West, we have we use drywall, 2x4s and stuff like that, and then we do insulation. And there's so many things you can do. Spray foam. There's at least five different installation that you can use. So what I've seen personally outside the videos that's happening in Ghana is that I've seen it used in walls, not decking. I've seen them used in ceiling, like attic. You guys know, if you have attic, it can be very, very hot and cold both ways. So I've seen it used in that. I've seen it used in roofing the sense of maintaining your, if you're in a cold climate like I am here, keeping the heat and stuff like that. So I've seen that. I have not seen it, and maybe there could be, depending on the diameter, they could use for flooring in terms of like um, when you do a foundation, you put on a floor and pour concrete, whatever. But I have not seen it for decking that is going to carry a lot of weight. And the ones that I've seen coming off Ghana, I think they put it. I don't think it's even steel, maybe aluminum embedded and stuff like that. So I don't know, with the weight of the concrete over time, whether that is strong enough to maintain, because there's two kinds of strength. There's tensile strength, which iron rod rebars have. So even if the concrete breaks, they hold them together. You don't separate the concrete, and then you have a strength of what concrete will be. Um, and so I've not seen it for decking. Um, am I going to use that? No, for me personally, no. I'm not gonna use that for decking. Per se, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. We will stay with the iron rods rebar, and factor also in the weight that is coming up on the upstairs. Um, so for me, listen, you know, things, things come up. The question becomes, uh, does it have a history of durability, right? Also, something may come, it may work, it may not work, but I'm not going to use my house as a guinea pig or project for something. Um, the concrete we build will be there. The way we build it, 100 years, 200 years is gonna stay, is gonna be there, unless maybe there's an earthquake or something that brings it down. But structurally, we always over-engineer that, and you know because we don't do the minimums. So it's a new thing people are doing. Like to me personally, it will make sense if it's being used as insulation, but to use it as decking that you're going to put weight, external weight of all the furnitures and all the body weight and everything you got going on up there, and maintain that strength for 10 years, 20, 30 years, 50 years. I don't know. That I'm not sure. And also, you can also look at other as well, other people, other videos outside Ghana as well to see if there's anything that you see as polystyrene being used as for um, decking. If it's a decking that there will not be weight that you're gonna be in. So I don't know. I really don't know. So, but for me personally, I wouldn't. If I ever use that, not that I will use it. It will be more for insulation. Okay. So I hope um, ramped F. Okay, so what is it about 3 years ago, 4 years ago? I met a lady that actually introduced it to Ghana for the first time. I checked out one of their projects. And it looks like I said before, I brought my engineer when we went over there. And so we look at it. I mean, from what we saw, from that one we saw, so I can't speak on what somebody else have done because the skill level in execution. So what I saw, to me, looks structurally sound. There was a thicker has its benefit to that as well. Um, and feel a little bit cooler, but I don't know because the windows are open, so air is being able to circulate it. So you don't know that. So it seems to be maybe a little bit cheaper based on how they are doing it. But it's kind of like it's okay. Mostly when you do run, people like the color, right? So you're not gonna plaster it and paint it. I think then that defeats the purpose, right? So you can mix your design in terms of the ratio of laterite to cement and add some things just to get some maybe different colors from the brown earth like colors, and then most people like it. So it's a matter of preference. I know like sometimes people knock concrete buildings stuff like that, but everything it's like they existed for you know many 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 centuries, and so it's just I wouldn't depends who is doing it and how are they able to maintain the ratio proportionately, um, and then whether the ramping is consistent because it's all manual labor, so you don't know if for every pounding there's the same psi of pressure being exerted. So you don't know, but time will tell. Time will tell. I know, like some people are doing that. Overall, they say cheaper, but it's just like with this builder thing, it's like it's you gotta do something that will speak for you. Like I like it, but I personally wouldn't build like that. I like the concrete stuff, or maybe someday like a glass, like or some of the materials, whatever. But it's not really like I don't have a negative view on it. It's all about execution and making sure it's going to work. But I know sometimes people say it's cooler and all that stuff. That is very subjective, right? Because what is cool for you, say I live in a cold climate, so maybe 75%, yeah, 75 degrees might be cooler for you. 60 degrees might be cooler for me. So that is really subjective. And you wouldn't know until you live, because Ghana has multiple seasons, so you wouldn't know until you live the whole year. Because if you go in there at a wet season, then it's like obviously it's gonna feel like it's cooler. If you go in a dry season, it's gonna be hot. And so it's kind of one of those things. So it's all about execution and deciding what is it exactly that you want, and to make sure that it speaks on you. So just because something's coming, everybody's doing that. I think like I don't move like that. I take my time and study to see where it makes sense to apply these things, where it doesn't make sense. But um, listen, you know, building has been there's if you live all over the world, there's building going on, and there's different materials people use to build. So, I don't think, in Ghana per se, we are inventing new materials in building per se, because even if we go with bamboo, we go to some part of Asia, they already build with bamboo. So whatever it is, some part of the world is being utilized. So the goal is for you to figure it out. What is being utilized and how they are applying it. So then even if you want to go that route, the mistake you can make that your building knows what it's doing, that's a no-no. That's a no-no. Or even the person that is promoting that knows what they are doing, right? That's a no-no. So you must do some research too, so then you can force your way, stuff like that. So okay, it's true that beachfront land is useless. I almost bought a beachfront land. I almost bought 1 acre 3 years ago. I pull out. I pull out for two reasons. One, because I've also factored in global warming. And I look on the map and where it was, Ghana is going to lose some inland, I think a quarter of a mile, 100 years inland, along from Togo, Kita, coming all the way to Cape Coast to Central region. And so, obviously, I don't want to invest in that. So then also too, legally, what Ghana does is 100 feet from the shorelines, you are not allowed to put permanent structures. People still do them anyway. Permanent structures. So you could do your summer hut, you could do your pool, you could do certain things, but you couldn't put your concrete building or your ramp earth building in 100 feet from the shore, ocean line, right? And so then think about it. So that means it forces you. That's why I was going to buy an acre, because I was going to lose 100 feet, which is one plot, right? And so that is the thing that people, I think I was gonna get two two plat on the shore and then two behind. So I think you have to factor that in as well. And also building actually also that ocean is not, it's not a peaceful ocean, man. Our waves are very, very strong. So the humidity, so I suggest bring humidity device when you go, if you're looking at that, and test it. And you can see you have to build with different materials, because corrosion is going to happen, and I don't care what they're going to tell you this. It's sprayed or it's this, so it's not going to corrode. Not true. Salt water is going to eat, a lot of things over time. And so you see it. So if you have stainless, all of a sudden you're going to see appliances begin to rust. If you have, aluminum piping for your faucet and all those things, you begin to see it. Your burglar proof, you're going to see it. So you will have to alter exactly what you are going to build. You can't do the normal way of building and put it over there. You are going to have that. And sometimes too, like if it's in pram, some areas, the soil is very, very salty. So how are you going to build in that alone? It's going to eat salt. It will eat up concrete. Salt will just eat up anything. So then, what are you going to do? Are you going to excavate and bring new soil? And then over time, is that going to dilute? When it rains, and so it's a whole different thing. There's a way you can build to minimize the soil's impact on the foundation as well. But I don't see a lot of people building that way. People are doing the normal foundation, and so you have to understand that why it's just pros and cons, but also like when I based on my assessment, there was more cons. I'd rather do a lake, or I do a lake in Ghana. So I'd rather do a lake than the ocean. Ocean meaning, so what I mean by ocean is like shoreline, right? So you like right there. I'm not talking about you are like 500 meters away from the shoreline. I mean like right on the shore, stuff like that. So it's just you have to look into that. So when I did my homework, I was like, I don't want to do that. Let me give a few shout out to people here. Brian, thank you for joining. Eve, always appreciate you. Yeah, Hajia, thank you. We missed you yesterday. Leslie, thank you always. Thanks for joining. Okay, global warming is happening, right? Global warming, sea rise is happening. There's a map. You can even look this thing up. 100 years, you can Google 100 years from now, global warming impact, shoreline impact in West Africa. And you can see it. I mean, you begin to even see the impact in Kita, right? And I've have family in Kita. I've went to school, for 2 years over there, and so you can see that. Then you have to factor all that in. It may not happen in your lifetime, but then the kids get to inherit the property. So this all these things are important. You are investing, you are putting money, you are doing all these things for the future, and so um, and are we going to build seawalls? Um, I don't know. It would take billions to do that project because we have a quite long shoreline all the way from Kita to all the way to Western region, right? It's a long shoreline, so that means you have to do a sea defense wall all the way around, and that's going to take billions of dollars. It's going to be a massive project of many years to do it. So and so that's you have to wait. You have to wait. So it's going to call if you try to build exactly the normal beer at the ocean and you want to prevent corrosion, then it's going to cost you a little bit more because you have to, use different materials and that kind of stuff. And so you have to factor that in, right? You have to factor that in. Or you can even talk to, do be, one of the things you can do is like you can talk to people that actually live in that area. Say, hey, what is the ocean like? Get information. They will tell you how much the ocean has taken inland and all that stuff. So it's important. Don't listen to the land buyer. They're gonna tell you anything, right? So get some information and stuff like that. So for me, if I have to choose between Lakeview in Ghana and oceanfront, I'll take Lakeview. Okay. That'll be my take. So, but if you decide to do, shoreline, whatever, then you have to understand that if you have the one plot which goes exactly to the shoreline, then you couldn't put permanent structure. That's Ghana law, right? No, people do whatever they want. You can do whatever you want and stuff like that. But I'm saying that is what they are saying. Stuff like that. And I know people in Keita already, what is 4,000 people were displaced a couple of weeks ago. Um, and stuff like that. So that is real. That is real. It is different if you don't live on a shoreline. You've always lived inland, and you go in there and you think like it's gonna be gravy. So as the people around, bro, thank you. I hope everything is good. Spending time with the family and stuff. Thanks for tuning in here. Okay, so it's about you doing your research. Obviously, we are here to help you. That's our website. Questions about building, land acquisition, how to protect your land. I say you can buy land. Buying land is not a big deal. The goal is to own it, to own it now, and to be able to own it forever. Right? That is the most important thing. And so that and then building also too. Like the statistics from Ghana is that 25% of people that start building will never complete it. So they will never complete it for a lot of reasons, meaning life happens, people lose their job, death happens, um, uh, you work with a criminal builder who takes the money, run away. Underestimation, big deal. I think that could be a topic, underestimation of the real cost of what is going to take. And I think you never know. You will never know until you finish, right? Because inflation and all those things is happening, so you never know. And I always say that whatever you thought it was, um, every year add 20%. Every year add 20%. And so because things will happen, because materials price will change and labor will change, and stuff like that. Um, so you have to factor that in. So we help you navigate through that, and so then our goal is to make sure you can succeed, and don't be one of those people. These things coming like land prices, right? Are ridiculously high in Ghana. I think they're not worth what they are asking for. No land in Ghana is worth, especially the ones that are asking a lot of money. They're not worth that. Okay, they're not for what you are going to get. They're not worth that. Um, but it's insane. But sometimes people deplete all their assets and they go buy land and then they don't have any money to build because there's a desire to be in some location because somebody has lived there. I really don't think it's a wise move. You know, I don't want to. I don't crave a location because somebody lives there. I create a location because it is proximity to where I want to be. It's proximity to where I want to open businesses. It's proximity to a lot of things. So it's a strategic things now because of some politician or some whatever, some celebrities, whatever. Shouldn't really matter. Shouldn't really matter. So so the good thing about Ghana is like there's a lot of farming land. There's a lot, almost depending on what you want to you want to grow. It's like brown half eastern region, Cape Coast, western region. You can do wheat, millet in the north. It depends what it is you want to go. Except the thing though too, I want people to be careful too is like the farmland. When you buy farmland, it's a whole different rules in terms of the land acquisition, the deals than when you buy land for residential or commercial. So you have to really look at it very, very well because some of these farmlands, the lease are very, very short. It's very, very cheap. I know some place 2 years ago you could get like $100 for like one plot for like 20 years or something like that. So it was very cheap. So you have to really understand that. So because some of them are really rigid, they say the terms were given to you as farmland, all of a sudden down the road, you want to put a residential building on it and stuff like that, and that becomes contention, right? So your negotiation, people have to read the indenture very, 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 very well and understand what it is that you sign. Any document you are getting, you have to really, really very, very well. Even especially the banking document and the estate document. I know stories and people have bought estate lands and then they were asked to 2 years finish and then it was put in a contract that within the 2 years, if it was not done, they will forfeit the place and people don't even read this stuff, then become something like that. So really, really, really don't go with emotions. Just read it, look at it. I would say, when I'm buying land, it's taking me sometimes, 3 months to do all my homework before I get into that. And sometimes after 3 months, it doesn't work. I walk away. That's fine, right? So it's very, very important. So farmland, is good. Sometimes the thing also too with farm, you start farming, then you got to have somebody to run it, or do you want to do it yourself? You have not even grown tomatoes before, right? You want to go establish a big farmland in Ghana and stuff like that. So then let's say you do it, you're successful. Logistics, right? A lot of the produce go to waste because even transporting from one area to another, you have to find a market. Um, so all those things, right? So all those things is very, very important because a lot of the produce go to waste. So you have to do that. Now, do you want to occupy the farmland? That means you want to have a house, residence, and stuff like that. What type of crop? How far you want to go in the city? I mean, is this something realistic that you is something that you think you can do and enjoy, or is something that would be nice to do, right? Um, Obviously, you're gonna get workers. Now you're gonna how are you gonna pay them? Are you gonna pay them with produce monthly salary and stuff like that? And so there's a few details thing that you have to look into that. But that's a that's a ton of farmland, right? Almost every region in Ghana has agricultural viability. Okay, so your options are unlimited in this area. Okay, let me see if I'm missing anything. Um, I want to make sure. Yeah, so you have to and sometimes too, like you building on a hill, mountain, and all those things. It takes a little bit of skills to execute. You can sometimes use the terrain as leverage for other things, right? It's not every time that you have to flatten the ground and stuff like that. So, and every terrain, not all foundation. You don't do the foundations the same everywhere, right? Um, it's different. It's really different. You have to, if you build on a hill, what type of soil on the hill? Is it clay? Is it concrete? Is it clay? Is it sand? Is it gravels? How stable it is, and sometimes the different layers. The first 2 feet is like sand, the next 2 feet is clay, and all those things. So is you have to work with a company that understand this thing, so that the goal is to build this thing for once, right? Because it's going to cost you money, it's going to cost you time and stress. So you want to build this thing, and you know that all the stuff that you have to do down the road is just cosmetic, right? Foundation is solid, and stuff like that. So you have to look at that. Another thing, you have to look at flooding too, right? Location. Some land are very, very susceptible to flooding, and so you have to understand, where you are. You downhill. If you are downhill, what does it look like? Maybe you need to go talk to people that are downhill and tell them with rainy season what happened. If you're downhill, what are you going to do? Maybe the forestry, the terrain holds the water. All of a sudden, the trees have been devastated, and people are building homes now, right? So now the water is just on the surface. So that water is coming all the way down here. You are downhill. So then what are you gonna do? So there's a lot to think about. And sometimes your bidder doesn't speak your language because they're not even looking at this stuff, right? So because once you put a house down and you live there, you can't elevate a house after that. You can't. Okay. Um, for consultation, reach out to us. We have consultation, and then we can answer your questions in depth. That is particular. I think consultation is very, very important because it's going to save you money, time, energy. When you know what you're supposed to do, when you know what to look for, it increase your chances of success. Uh, and stuff like that. So it's just like, for me, knowledge is important. The right information is important because once you have that, then you can make sound decisions. Because for most of us, this is new, right? Building a different country is very new. Danny, good to have you here. Yeah, yeah. So I know Ghana too, has come up with its laws, but if you're Ghanaian unvaccinated, when you get to the airport, you will be vaccinated. So I understand this vaccination is creating anxiety. There's some that say, okay, I have to do it, and some is saying that under no circumstances I would do it. and they're working around it. I think people will make their own individual decisions, but hopefully the decision is not made of emotions. Is because I think if the fears they're gonna kill you with a vaccination, I think it's too late. You're already dying from salt and sugar. There's a lot of ways you're already dying. Some people are emotionally dead, just walking. And so, but all I'm saying is, even your freedoms was not free. Somebody paid their life. So I'm not gonna let something like that stop me from making moves and building my businesses and my assets. Um, you know, but it's individual choices. People decide. But I think the way it's going is unless really you have a lot of money and you can go off grid and do your own thing, it will be very difficult for you to navigate if you are unvaccinated because I think they'll get you on travel. Right, and some employment is requiring that. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying um, it is what it is. It is what it is. So people can stand their ground on principle, and then some people can say, "Listen, you know, billions of people have been inoculated, and the data is, I think, on the upside and the downside." So, but anyway, people make that choice. Obviously, when I went, I mean, if you go in, then you have no choice. But other than that, if you're not gonna go, the question becomes if vaccination becomes the burden of you becoming successful, and you said, okay, I'm not gonna do it, and then you don't put your family in a better situation, then I think people will have to deal with that consequences and stuff. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And if you want to, so just oh man, so many, so many stuff. Yeah, there's politics involved as well, and the question becomes too, do these African leaders actually call the shots? It's highly debatable. That's a different topic and stuff like that. So, but um, for me, like there's certain things you can actually control. And every decision has a cost. Every decision has a price, and sometimes you're willing to pay the price, and that's fine. Sometimes it's like you just do what you need to do. Okay. Yeah, definitely. I don't think yeah, I don't think it's gonna be free. So then you pay the 150. Well, so the vaccination will be Ghanaian, so they're paying 50. I think $50 for the antigen test at the airport. Then I think that you will have to pay for the vaccine as well. I'm thinking probably the vaccine will be about the same or expensive. So, but the thing also I think I know for a fact that the vaccines, or if I'm betting, the stuff they send to that part of the world is not the same in terms of quality. It's not the same. Yeah, so it's not gonna be free. Yeah, so she understand. Yeah, so it's hard. It's really, some people are really passionate about these things, but I also see that I say, listen, and for me, and some of you friends, and I said, okay, then you stuck here. Then you have investments in Ghana, and this is what it. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna sell everything and stuck here. So then what if you sell everything? Then here you get to a point that you are forced to have it. Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back and try to buy back things back. So I think it's like. Now, if you've never taken a vaccine, I can respect that. But if you've taken vaccine before, uh, I think it's like they would have gotten you long time. Yeah, so it's like that. So like because I'm not, so if the question becomes I don't take the vaccine, so then I'm not in a position to provide for my family, so we end up in the street. That's not an option, obviously. Come on, man. Not putting family on the street. So yeah. Yeah, it's even interesting. Why isn't that? Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I have friends that are remote jobs getting paid very well and has become a requirement. And I think because, they fit, what is it? If you have more than 50 or 100 employees in the United States, that also is being mandated. So I think, so what is he going to give up a $200,000 job and then go home and then go ask Biden to give you some assistance? So I don't know. I mean, it's not an easy choice either way. But I think is if because I don't think I don't buy death. Like they want to get. Listen, it's too late, man. You want to get people, you don't need to put in a vaccine because that could be analyzed and know what is in there. There's so many ways to do it easier. So I guess that's what it is. So from what I'm saying, I mean, people have COVID. COVID is high in Ghana. It's very high, very very high. The death is low though. The death is very low. And the reason is high because actually the people that have the data is the airlines. The airlines are saying that people that are coming from Ghana when they get here, so I'm speaking Ghana because that's where I get the data particularly. Is that when they come back in, they do the test, they are positive. So it is there. For some good reason, the death is low. Or it could be maybe, you know, the efficacy of the virus is not that strong over there or whatever. But the virus keep mutating, so sometimes you get a weaker variant, and then sometimes it mutated and becomes something stronger. So um, the factors are still puzzling for scientists. Why is not the death rate in Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa and southern part of African countries, very, very low. But it's a good thing, I guess. So, I mean, we'll see. It's a tough decision, right? It's a tough decision. So it's a personal thing to do or not to do it. And so it's like, but I know the justification why some people are not doing it. I think is very interesting. So you have the ability to end poverty in your family lineage, but you are making a decision not to. So everybody, and stuff like that because you don't only take a specific vaccine. Meanwhile, you've taken a lot of vaccines in your lifetime. So I think that is kind of like a little bit interesting for that. Um, yeah, because hey, we all gonna die anyway. Death is not what you should fear. Dying and not leaving a legacy is the issue. Okay. All right. All right. 5 more minutes, then we're gonna wrap it up. So I've shared my thought on the vaccine stuff. So I think eventually it's gonna be mandated everywhere. Because I know even in Ghana, some restaurants, I got some info. When is it? Today is Saturday. I got info Wednesday. Some restaurant will not let you get in. How they enforcing that? I don't know, but you have to show a vaccination card. So eventually, webinar. You can put a work. I think I need to put a webinar in. I think I'll do next week. Okay, next week. I'll put a link in there on the website. And then let's talk, right? Let's talk. Um, let's get some answers for you so you can do this. I enjoy doing YouTube. Um, I've in a couple of years I'll probably switch into something else. So while I'm here, let's get the questions and stuff in. Hollow blocks. I mean, you can still do 6 inches hollow blocks. So do hollow blocks. If you did 6 inches solid blocks, then just do 6 inches hollow blocks. Test, just make sure the hollow blocks, because sometimes they over compress them, and so they're not that strong. They break. So test them. So test them very well, and stuff like that. And ideally, what happens is you stack them up in a way. Let's say you test them, and maybe 10% of them are not the strongest. So those will be the last ones that go on top. Okay. Or those ones you arrange them where there will be a plumbing. So there's a way. So I just give you a tip, right? So that's because I'm doing the same thing for the second build. I use obviously we did our own blocks for quality control. So we did a solid, and then we bought the hollow block. So I'm doing 6 inches down solid, 6 inches up hollow blocks. Okay. Because in the end, so think about it this way. If you use 4 inches, you're gonna use more of it. That's what it is. Right. So there's not, there's not like you're not getting a benefit per se. Hello, Ima. I hope all is good. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. But if it's one story, depending on where you are, in UK, one story. If it's 2 stories in the US, that means ground level and the second level. Then I think the weight reduction is always good. So I would say just use hollow blocks. Or some people will go maybe 4 inches because it weigh less, and stuff like that. So I will do that. Anytime you can save weight is a good thing, especially when now that we're building a lot of open concept, which involves a lot of engineering calculations and stuff like that. The beams got to be constructed differently with, bigger high tensile iron rods, stuff like that. And sometimes there might be introduction of one pillar somewhere to maintain the structure, rigidity, and stability. So, anytime you can reduce the weight on the second level, it's always a great thing. What is anal blocks? And the bricks. Oh, okay, that one. So, so okay. I just have to look that one up. There's so many terminology. Okay. Um, I mean, it's the same material because I think the same material as Ramp F. They they are a little bit smaller though. So I think I don't like. So here's my view. I don't think concrete cement blocks usefulness have gotten to the point that it needs to be shoved, right? Because okay, you're using and the brakes, the red one. Now, unless you like that design, I remember way back, I was gonna build with bricks because I like the clay red color, stuff like that. I've been do roofing with that. Um, and so if you like that, then that's different. But man, you probably have to have like about 10, 15, 20,000 of those smaller, bricks to build. So the question is that going to give you some added value that cement blocks can do? And I don't know that. I know some people some say, and it makes the house cool. Don't let that's just listen. Is there's no scientific studies to that per se. That is And if it is, it's very negligible because, and also depending on where you are in Ghana, certain places are cooler than others. So the benefit might even Accra, you know, it's not the same. So the benefit might be negated with other things. So my thing that so look at it, is it a cost perspective or it's just like it has all this added benefit? And I don't think so. If I find something that is, I'll do a whole video and say, okay, here are the benefits to this. But I don't really think that if even there's any benefit is so much, you know, wide in terms of like so much significant to say, you know what, forget block, cement blocks. So I don't know. So I don't know. Is this the style that you? If it's the style, then okay, fine. But if it's going to do something that cement block is going to do, I don't think so. I really don't think so. It's going to do that. Like, subscribe, share, please. Thank you. Um, yep. Yeah. So thriving. So the goal is to thrive. The goal now is to just go to Africa and do whatever, and come back. So anybody can go to Africa. Anybody can buy land. Anybody can build something. So the goal is to go there and thrive and enhance your life. When you leave, I will never move to one place and have a regression of life. And it's not going to happen. If I move, it got to be up. It has to be progression. And so other than that, it is what it is. And so it's about thriving and understanding what you need to do. And sometimes some things are just painful to do business in that environment, right? So it is what it is. You are the mercy of the environment. Okay, you are the mercy of the environment, and as much as you think you can change it much, you really are not going to be able to change it much. Uh, Trust me, many men and women that are better than us have gone and couldn't work. So you just have to navigate. You just have to find a way to navigate, and that takes skills and some knowledge and experience. What do we offer? We do land acquisition purchase, advice on land acquisition, how to get legal documentation process, how to make sure that you understand indenture, protect your interest, um, and the building process, how to make sure that decisions are being you from the time you build to you finish, you're gonna be making hundreds of decisions on each point, right? And so we give you some options and say, okay, this is that, this is the benefit of that. This is why you build this way because your sector is in the rainy season. You're gonna be dealing with this kind of stuff, so you need to do it this way. Or you're in a region that's prone to flooding. So those things that I don't talk, those things are not on YouTube. I don't talk about that stuff. There's a lot with everything I see on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff that goes into consultation. Uh, a YouTube video will get you about if you memorize everything and you do all this stuff, it will get you about maybe get you about 50%. To get the other 50 is a consultation. That because that was going to save you money and it's going to save you the stress and the headache. And also how to keep an eye on things and to make sure things are being done, especially you're a woman and you're building single, there's a lot of challenges that you're going to face and how to make sure you are heard, you are respected and understood. And stuff like that. So how to, so it's just you get that through the consultation. We offer Blueprint over there. We have an affiliated, company over there. They offer discounts sometimes. You can do modification. We can also advise you on Blueprint. And we do modification. Sometimes the modification doesn't cost you anything in terms of we can make this modification on the ground. We just have to factor in the material cost, stuff like that, instead of like going to go pay for a whole modification of blueprint, which can cost a lot of money. So we do that. So we look at, all this stuff and we make, when we make even decision, trying to get the best out of the house, right? So sometimes you have to reorient certain things, and so it's a lot. Blueprint depends, because we have 30,000 plans. And so, listen, the cheapest could be 750, 850 to about 5,000, depending on how elaborate things are too. And sometimes what we are doing also too, maybe you have a blueprint, we can talk about it, and then we have a architect in Ghana to actually um, duplicate that blueprint, but for a much more cheaper price. Okay, so we do that. All right. So other than that, man, the 1 hour just fly by. So don't underestimate the consultation. When I started, there was nothing like that being offered. So we learned a lot. We made some mistakes with in terms of the process and things that we thought was useful and valuable. Now it's kind of like we seasoned. We really seasoned, and we understand exactly what we want, what is important, how much layout. Now I can tell you how much layout that is useful for a family, and stuff like that, and how to just maximize the one plot and have landscape and have outdoor life and indoor life. Okay, and so um, and our website again. Thanks, Eve. You can come to that, and then you can check what we have to offer and stuff like that. And sometimes too, there may be something over there. You can send me an email, and then we can talk about it and stuff like that. So, um, um, it's every now and then I move on to other things. So, I'm gonna write this YouTube thing to you get to a point where it's like, I move on to other things. Um, so there's a couple of years to do that. All right. What do you advise? Buying ties made in Ghana or shipping abroad? I would say ideally do both. Do both in a sense that here outside you're gonna get quality, you're gonna get variety. So that's facts. You get quality, you're gonna get variety. The ties that they ship to the US, Europe, quality wise is much better than the one they ship in Ghana. Okay, because they have to meet those standards. So you can get variety and quality, and sometimes the variety I think is very, very important because you maybe in your master bathroom you don't need a specific tiles. You want to put on the floor, and then you are limited. Right? You are going to be limited. Because especially if you're in the United States, man, you have plethora of all this stuff, and sometimes you can even they can even ship it from international and bring it to you if you're buying large quantities. So, but also then too, if you're shipping it to the cost, the duty, and all that stuff, the breakage, so that means you have to add 20% of tiles. That will factor in how much is going to break, and also for replacement, tiles eventually will break. Somebody's going to drop something on it. It's going to happen. Chip. That's the way it is. So you need extra for replacement, all that kind of stuff. So I know the first build may I ship 22 pallet of tiles. A lot of money. It's very, very expensive. For this trip, nah. I'm gonna do a few boxes of specific tiles that I want, like my backsplash for the kitchen, and then the flooring of the shower area for the bathrooms. So those things I'm gonna ship them out, and I'll see. I might not even do tiles at all uh, for this build and stuff like that. So we'll see. Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for taking the time with me. I don't take it for granted. So just believe in yourself and get the right counsel, and then just do your stuff right. So, but I still hold building blocks with cement, and I still hold the value still holds. Yes, Ram F is also awesome and stuff like the other stuff is yet to be debated because listen, it's time. Time is the revealer of truth, right? It's going to determine whether these other models have been done well. So not only the material is the execution. Okay, you can use superior material and poorly executed to get a terrible outcome. So the execution. But if I build 100 homes right now, it's still going to be that. I might incorporate some glasses and stuff like that in there, but I'm still going the ground. I'm still doing my solid concrete rebars, block work, and then take it from there because I know it's gonna be here for a lot of time. Okay. Um. Thank you, Eve. Somebody just George just threw a question with me. I'm telling Joyce. I'm telling you, it's not necessary. It is not necessary. Listen, I have found all my friends that have 6,000 square feet, 7,000 square feet. We've all of them. We are in unison. We spoke, and everybody said, "Listen, I'll never do this thing again this way." I've never met one. Right? It's not necessary. It really is not necessary. And so, but but sometimes when you share this, people feel certain way. Maybe like, oh, uh, maybe because you build this house, you don't want me to build a big house. Yeah, whatever. Do yours. But I'm saying, living in a big house with no money is worse than having your 3, 4 bedroom and enjoying it, right? And so, but you can do whatever. But I would tell anybody that's gonna say, listen, it is not necessary because you are not going to be spending the time in there, and there's something called too much of a house. And so, by your money, if it's done right, you're gonna put hundreds of thousands of dollars into this thing, but the value is not there because you are not even maximizing it. So that is why I went from 6,500 to 3,300, right? And I'm loving the 3,300. 6 bathroom to 4 bedroom, 6 bedroom to 4 bedroom. So it's not it's not really necessary. I think it's maybe sometimes we all got caught up, and I did it because, to be honest, like I didn't have any input from anybody that has done it to advise me and said, listen, man, it's not going to be necessary and stuff. But I just did it because it was a dream home or something that I wanted a bigger home. I did it, but when I got experience, I said no. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you, Ima. Have a great weekend. Thanks.